Welcome to the video Vort. In the middle of this week's Sedra, dealing with the topic of Shemitah and Yovel, the Torah goes off onto an entirely new tangent, and that is Pasuk Yudalid in Perek Chaf Hei. Pasuk says, "V'chisimkaru mimkar lamitacha," when you are engaged in business with your neighbor. O kano miyad amitacha, you're buying, you're selling. Al tonu ish es achiv, you shall not cheat your neighbor. That is smack dab in the middle of the laws of Shemitah and Yovel. Starts with Yovel, ends with Yovel, Shemitah, and in the middle has this unrelated pasuk. What is, in fact, the meaning of the juxtaposition, of the insertion of this pasuk about cheating your neighbor in business, about not cheating your neighbor in business, and the laws of Shemitah and Yovel? Sefer Binyan suggests that the entire underlying principle of Shemitah and Yovel is for us to understand that there's a Ribono Shel Olam in the world who provides us with our parnasa, with our physical sustenance. Because every 7 years on the 7th cycle, and the 50th year in the Yovel cycle, we let the land lie fallow. Everything seems to be reset. And in that year, we are fully reliant upon the Ribono Shel Olam for our sustenance. Our physical sustenance is provided by divine blessing. That's the underlying principle of Shemitah. That's the underlying message that one is supposed to take for themselves during this period of time. And it is in that context that the Torah says, Lo sonu, do not cheat your neighbor. That is to say that when one cheats their neighbor in any type of financial dealing, they're not just giving in to their base desires of having more than they currently have. But when I cheat my neighbor, I am in essence denying the fact that all of my physical sustenance comes from the Ribono Shel Olam. And somehow I am going to get something which God doesn't want me to have. I am denying implicitly, if not consciously, I am denying God's role in my parnasa, in my physical sustenance. And therefore, the Torah tells us about Shemitah and Yovel at the beginning, and the Shemitah and Yovel at the end. In the middle inserts this pasuk to remind us, number one, of the message of Shemitah and Yovel, and number two, that we should take this message in order to steel us when we come up against a moral gray area, and where we are tempted to perhaps act in an unrefined and an immoral way when it comes to financial dealings. We should remember there is no benefit to stealing. There is no benefit to taking that which is not ours, because ultimately all of our physical sustenance is a reflection of divine blessing. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us the blessing of parnasa b'revach, and may we find ourselves, may we have the courage and strength to withstand any tests that come our way. Good Shabbos.